After losing the Merseyside derby in midweek, Everton drew 1-1 with second-placed Arsenal in the early Saturday afternoon kickoff today. And Everton started like this. We had Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Patterson in defence, Gay and Iwegbunam in midfield, with Harrison, Decore and Ndiaye in front of them, and Beto up front. Great to see Ndiaye back in the starting 11. Arsenal had a number of key players that were on the bench. They had Saka, Odegaard and Martinelli, who came on later in the game, and they started with Raya, White, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Marino, Jorginho Rice, Nwaneri, Trossard and Sterling. It was a lively start. There was a lovely tribute to Kevin Campbell in the 9th minute from both sets of fans. And after that, Branthwaite made a couple of good clearing headers. We were giving Arsenal lots of set pieces, and they were putting the ball into a good area, just couldn't make anything happen from it. And the best chance for Everton really came in the 16th minute. And it wasn't really even a chance. I think it was Harrison that put the ball in, and it just hit O'Brien. He would have seen it late, and if it hit him differently, it could have gone in. But yeah, very slim pickings for Everton in the first half. Then a minute later, he got booked. And the first real opportunity for Arsenal came in the 23rd minute, and Branthwaite had to make a great tackle on Trossard after a poor pass from Tarkowski. And that was a warning sign for Everton. Like, we were very sloppy in possession today, especially in the first half. And if Branthwaite gets that wrong, he's going to get sent off, and we're in all sorts of trouble. But he made a great challenge. But by the half an hour mark, despite Arsenal's passing being slick, them being better than us, neither side had an attempt on target. 3 minutes later, that changed, and we gifted Arsenal a goal. Lovely finish from Trossard, not going to take anything away from him. However, Idrissa Gana Gueye heads it to Sterling. Sterling carries the ball. Branthwaite is then out of the game, and with Arsenal's first shot on target, they score. And the thing that's concerning there is actually not the fact that lack of communication, that there was no communication between Branthwaite and Gay. And we'd had the warning signs before that, the sloppy passing in defence, and Arsenal made us pay. In my opinion, I kind of thought, well, why is actually Branthwaite that far forward? But then, yeah, seeing as he was there, Gay should have left it. Branthwaite's better in the air. Anyway, the goal happened. And by half-time, you could just hear the first signs of frustration creeping into the Everton crowd. We weren't creating anything. Arsenal are 1-0 up. They were playing keep ball. And just before half-time, Tarkowski makes a really important block. Rice has a shot. It's going in. And we did not want to be 2-0 down before half-time. And then in the 50th minute, the last thing of the first half, Ndiaye has a decent shot, cuts inside, and it was after some, rare, nice passing from Everton. And that's half-time. So Saka and Martinelli then come on for Arsenal. And I think that double substitution just kind of highlights the golfing quality available to both squads today. But whatever Arteta said at half-time maybe unsettled the players, because 2 minutes into the second half, Lewis Skelly fouls Harrison, and Everton have a penalty, which Ndiaye converts. It's 1-1. But I was still worried. because they've brought on Saka, Martinelli. At that point, they still had Odegaard on the bench. But the momentum really left Arsenal. And in my opinion, they looked weaker for those changes. I know that Saka now needs to play after that long period of time out. Martinelli's had an injury as well, so they need game time, especially when they're playing Madrid next week. But I was so happy that Nwaneri went off, because he was just taking on Patterson and beating him again and again in the first half. By the 62nd minute, that's when the next real event happened. Miles Skelly went on a great run, brought down by Tarkowski, and he was booked. And then 20 minutes later, Odegaard's come on by that point, so is Tierney. Really good pass by Tierney. Odegaard can't get his feet sorted out. In my opinion, he should score with the time that he had in the box, but hits it wide, well off target. 2 minutes later, Martinelli cuts inside. Really good effort. Pickford with the save. And then from an Everton point of view, Harrison goes off, McNeil comes on. Great to have him back as well. And 2 minutes later, final chance of the game really, Tierney again with a great ball in with his left foot. But Merino heads wide and over for Arsenal, and that's 1-1. Like I said at the beginning of the video, a draw was a fair result. But I was really surprised at the lack of impact that Saka had. Because I was really worried when he came on. I thought player of his quality, when Nwaneri's been getting all that joy, but it didn't happen for Arsenal, and I'm glad for that. If they play like that against Madrid, I don't see them getting anything from the game. But from an Everton point of view, a very good point for us after a disappointing derby result in midweek. I'm struggling with a man of the match, to be honest, so I probably won't do one. Maybe Pickford, for the Martinelli save. And he also made a really good save from Trossard, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. So yeah, there you go. My man of the match is Jordan Pickford. Okay, thank you for watching. See you for the next game. Bye.